Hello guys, it's Mark Newton from the School of Photography, and in this video I am going to tell you why buying Lightroom presets is an absolute waste of time. I'm also going to show you how easy they are to create, and just to prove it even further, I'm going to give you 15 of my own presets for free, because that is how easy they are to create. So I can just create them and give them to you for free, and there's some really good ones there as well. All right, so here are 3 reasons why you should not buy Lightroom presets. Reason number 1, your photos will never look like what they do in the advert, right? Unless you are using the same camera, the same lens, the same aperture, the same focal length, the lighting was the same, and all of them things, your photograph will not look like it does in the advert that's trying to sell you them Lightroom presets, okay? They are very misleading, them adverts, and that is the first reason why you should never buy Lightroom presets. Number 2 is, why would you want someone else to take the creativity away from you? Why are you in photography? If you are here learning photography because you want someone else to take the creativity away from you, then pack this game in right now. Put your stuff on eBay and choose a different hobby, all right? You have chosen photography to be creative. So be creative in the photography part of it and the editing part of it. It's yours, not no one else's, yours. All you will be is a cheap imitation of someone else, and you will never learn. Why get someone else's preset and put it on your photograph? You will never learn. If you don't do things and get things wrong, you're not going to learn from them, all right? So that is my second reason on why you shouldn't buy Lightroom presets. My third reason is this: there is no one-click solution to making your photography great. If you think you can buy a preset and just click the button and your photography will go ping, then you're wrong. Again, you need to wake up to how hard this game actually is. Only knowledge and practice is going to make your photography and your editing better. Not a one-click solution that you've bought for $15, right? It's not going to work. And now I'm going to show you how easy it actually is to create a Lightroom preset. Let's go into Lightroom. So here is the picture that we're going to add a preset to. It's from a tutorial that I did on how to photograph snow. I'll put a link to it up here for you so you can go and watch that if you want to. And we are basically going to turn this picture here into this picture here. So this is the picture with the preset added, and this is the raw file. So I'm just going to come over to this one again here, and this is just a virtual copy of the raw file. It's as simple as that. So in Lightroom you can make a virtual copy of any picture. That's what this is. I'm going to press the reset button down the bottom here, which will reset it all the way back to a raw file. And now we're going to add the settings, and we're going to save it as a preset, simple as that. So firstly, it's a little bit too dark, so I'm going to bring up the exposure to around about there. I'm going to come down and increase the highlight slightly as well, because obviously this is a snow picture, and the idea is that we want it to be bright, snow, we want it to be nice and bright and crisp. So I've lifted up the highlights a little bit there. Next thing is to lift up the shadows as well slightly. I think just about there is okay. Then I'm going to bring up the whites again, because it's snow and we want the whites to be nice and crisp. So let's bring up them whites slightly like that. And I'm gonna add some black so we get a little bit more contrast in the shot, I think about there. I'm gonna come down here to the vibrance and boost up the color slightly to around about there, and let's bring up the saturation as well to around about there. The next thing I'm going to do is add a curve. I'm going to add a very slight S curve into this shot, which is, well, I'll do that. If you watch my tutorials, you will know that I'll do that to pretty much every picture, okay? So we're going to come down here to the curve panel, and I'm going to lift it up here in the highlights and pull it down slightly in the shadows. Let's just toggle on and off there. And yeah, that just lifts it slightly, which is what I like. The next thing that I want to do is add that colour, add that kind of purpley colour to the shot. And for that, I'm going to come down to something called split toning, which is this box here. And split toning here basically allows you to add colours into the highlights and the shadows of the shot. And it comes from an old black and white darkroom technique actually. So the first thing that I'm going to do is click here in the highlights box. And it's a purpley colour that I want to add in the highlights. So let's click around here and get something that I like. And something about there is quite good, I think. And now I want to add, a very similar colour as a matter of fact into the shadows of the shot. So I'm going to come down to this box here, which is the shadows, click on that. And again, I'm going to have a little click around, and it's like a mauvey colour I want here in the shadows. And that's not looking too bad. Let's take the saturation of it down a little bit to about there. Let's click the X to get rid of that. Let's toggle on and off of this split toning box to see the effect that it's had. And there you go, that's really done a lot to the shot. These are really nice colours to add to these cold, snowy scenes, or frosty scenes actually. So that's what these colours work for. The next thing I'm going to do is sharpen up the shot, and that is down in this detail panel here. So I'm just going to click on the screen anywhere like that, and that will zoom into the pixels at a 1:1 ratio. So whenever you are sharpening pictures, you should be looking at the image at 100%, yeah, or 1:1 ratio. And then I'm going to come down to the sharpening here. So I'm going to click on here, and I'm just going to type in 80. And there you go, it just sharpens it up and crisps up the edges for me. And 80 is what I use roughly. And you don't have to stick to 80, but in general, I put 80 in the amount here. And let's just toggle on and off of that to see the difference. So that's without sharpening, and that's with sharpening, without and with. Now you should also add a bit of masking with your sharpening, and that will take the sharpening effect away from blank areas, which is what you want. So look, I've got a blank area up here, and you can see that it's slightly noisy. And if I just click on the masking slider here, hold down the Alt or Option key if you're on a Mac, and drag it across, you can see there, look, that it's taking it off the blank area. So black means that the sharpening is not going to affect that area, and white means it is. So here you can see quite clearly that it's going to affect the trees but not the sky. So I'm going to leave it there, and there you go, you can see that it's took the noise away from the blank areas. So it's always a good idea to add a bit of masking to your sharpening. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bit of luminance. I'm just going to click on this slider, and I'm going to drag it up like that. About there will do the job. And what that's actually doing is now softening off the edges. And I know that sounds really weird that I've just sharpened the edges and then softened them, but this is the effect that I want from this picture. I want that sort of dream-like effect. And adding luminance, it kind of blends it's there to actually get rid of noise, and it does that by blending the pixels together, and blending the pixels together makes it look a little bit soft, just a little bit soft, which is the effect that I want for this type of shot. So let's now come over to here now, where so we can see the tree quite clearly, and let's toggle on and off the detail panel. So that's without any sharpening, and that's with the sharpening, without and with. So it is sharp but smooth, all right, and that's the effect that I want for this particular shot. And the next thing that I want to do is I want to remove what's called chromatic aberration. So I'm going to come back down here to lens correction, and I'm just going to move the picture to the tree trunk here, and you can see that there is a bit of purple fringing. Actually, I'm going to zoom in a bit further. I'm going to zoom into 3/1 like that there. Let's move in. You can see that there is a little bit of purple fringing there and green fringing around the edge there. That's chromatic aberration. So I'm going to tick here on lens correction, remove chromatic aberration, and there you go, it disappears. So let's just turn that on and off again, look, just like that. So that's with chromatic aberration, and then this is without it because I ticked the button there. And now let's click back on the screen to full screen it, and then down the bottom here we'll click on the before and after. And there you go. That's the before shot and that is the after shot. And as you can see, it's quite a dramatic difference and it really suits this snow picture, right? And now, quite simply, I can save that as a preset and then add it to all of my snow pictures. And it's as simple as that, really. And to do that, we come over here to presets. First of all, actually, I'm going to full screen it again, go into loop view. You come over to presets. I'm going to just click this drop down box here. And again, I'm going to highlight why you shouldn't be buying presets, okay? Because all of these come free with Lightroom anyway. They've got loads of different stuff here for you to play around with. I'm giving you 15 for free. You can get free presets all over the internet, right? There literally is no reason to buy them. So, you know, I kind of get the ump when I've got my students, they're wasting money. Well, they're being conned by other companies, and that gives me the ump, and that's why I make these videos, all right? But look, here you go. So you've got all of these here already for free. I'm gonna give you loads of these presets for free here. So all of these cinematic ones and, you know, so on and so forth, all right? So yeah, just to save this as a preset is you put all your settings in like what I've just done. You go over to here, you click this plus button, you click create preset, you name the preset. Let's just call this one free preset example, for instance, and then you put it in a group. You can put it anywhere you want, or you can create a new group and so on and so forth. For now, I think I'm just going to put it into my soft preset group that I created because, you know, it's quite a soft look, I think, anyway. So I'm going to put it down. I'm going to put it into soft like that. You make sure that all of these are ticked. You can take some off if you don't want to, but obviously we want the whole settings that I've added. And I quite simply click create. And there you go. If I go over to soft now, there it is there. Free preset example. It really is as simple as that. Now, Lightroom presets are not all bad. So let's make that clear. I'm not saying that presets are a bad thing. Paying for them are, but using them are not. And I'm going to tell you the benefits of Lightroom presets in a minute. But before I do, I want to take this opportunity to tell you about the Lightroom course that we actually run over at theschoolofphotography.com. Now, it's this knowledge, like I've said to you before, it's this knowledge of Lightroom that's going to make it so easy for you to make presets of your own that are more specific to your photography. And we've got a whole in-depth course on Lightroom, as well as photography, Photoshop, studio lighting, you know, all these things photography related. Come over and check us out. We've also got free previews as well, so you can check the course out before you actually buy it. All right, so come over and check that out. So yeah, like I said, Lightroom presets are not bad. They're actually quite good because they give you a starting point and they save you a lot of time, as a matter of fact. So they're really good time-saving tools, and you know, you should use them. But the thing is, it needs to be specific for your photography, for your equipment, for your style. You know, how are you ever going to develop your own style if all you're doing is buying Lightroom presets? You know, it just doesn't work. They're also good to learn from as well. So you can get all of these free presets, you know, including ours, and you can learn from them. You can see what other people are doing to create certain effects, so you do learn a lot from them as well. So it is a good idea to use presets as a base and go from there. So you can get one for cloud. I mean, for instance, we've got one for clouds. It's one that I'm giving you, and it gives you contrast on a cloudy day for black and white photographs. All right, now you can use that as a base, so it's going to save you time there. and then you put your own style on top of that, and it just speeds things up. All right, so that's really how you should be using presets. So those free presets that we're giving away, you can get them quite simply by clicking on the link that is in the description of this video. It will take you to a page and you just download the presets. It really is as simple as that, okay? So I hope this video has helped you out, and I really hope that it stopped you spending your money needlessly. All right, if it has, you need to like this video, you need to give us a comment, you need to share it with your friends, you need to subscribe to our channel, because if you don't do all of them things, we cannot bring you these tutorials and these videos. All right, we simply can't do it without your engagement on the videos. Okay, so we really appreciate it, and I hope you can do that for us. So thanks for watching, and remember, learn more at the School of Photography. This is passionate, isn't it? It is.